Molly had to look after herself on the weekends. Her mum and dad were always out working or sleeping, Dad especially, which meant she only ever saw him wearing a dressing gown and slippers, and his hair was never tidy. Molly didn't mind. They said all the work was to pay for a holiday in the summer, and she'd always wanted to go to Lanzarote, though she had no idea why. So, there she was, on a weekend, alone. But she didn't like the idea of being alone. It wasn't a big house, just 2 bedrooms, one for her, one for Mum and Dad, which she thought most unfair, as they had to squish up together in the same bed, whereas she had all the space in the world. But when there was no one else there, the space seemed to get bigger, cold, and echoey. It was on one such big, empty Saturday that Molly started talking to herself. Talking to yourself is a common problem for those like Molly who don't have televisions or computers. Just look at old people. They can't even work a DVD player and they talk to themselves all the time. But Molly wasn't really talking to herself. She was talking to the house. "Hello, house. How are you?" The house, naturally, didn't answer. At first, Molly was a bit put out by this rudeness. No one else talked to her, certainly not seriously. The house, she thought, should be wise, full of tales and experience. She stroked the walls of the house, trying to persuade it to give up some of its secrets. But the house, naturally, continued to not answer. So Molly continued, regardless, starting to tell the walls of the house all her secrets. There was a small hole in the bathroom wall, to which she whispered all her naughtiest thoughts when she knew there was no one around. Over the weeks, these one-sided conversations got longer, as she moved on from just talking to the house to talking to other objects. "Good morning, toaster," she'd say. "How are you?" And naturally, there was no reply. Well, it was a toaster. At night, her parents having told her to go to bed, though staying up themselves, which she thought most unfair, Molly would talk herself to sleep. Whilst noises of parents downstairs continued, she whispered little events of school and worries to her bedside lamp. The lamp, naturally, didn't reply. Then, one Saturday, something odd happened. As with most odd things, it happened on a perfectly normal day. Molly got up, said goodbye to Mum and Dad, and wandered into the kitchen for breakfast. As was her wont when all else was out, she started a conversation with the house. "Good morning, house," said Molly. "Good morning, Molly," said the house. You spoke! You spoke, house!" "Of course." "Well, you might have spoken before you left me to do all the work all this time," and Molly was even more put out. "Well," said another voice, "we shouldn't say a word. It's against the rules, really. But no one will know, will they?" Molly looked round to see who had spoken, and saw that it was the toaster. And was it her imagination, or was it smiling as well? But that was silly. How could a toaster smile? She ran from room to room, shouting, "Hello! Hello, Molly," said the pictures on the walls. "Hello, Molly," said the oven in the kitchen. "Hello, Molly," said the doors and the windows. "Hello, woof," said the sofa as she sat on it. And from that day on, Molly had lots of secret conversations with the house. She found out what it was like to be a house, which was very difficult for her to quite get. The chief difficulty in being a house is the aches and pains at the shifts and decays and dampnesses. "The dampness in my floorboards in the bathroom, they ache something chronic." Molly promised to ask her dad to do something about it when he got home. At this, the house insisted that Molly keep its nature a total secret. "No one would believe you. They'd lock you up. And then, piped up the toaster, we'd not see you any more." "I'd never leave you," said Molly. "I've never had so many friends. I couldn't lose you all." "Perhaps," said the house. That evening she was bursting to tell her parents all about her exciting news, but remembered her promise. And that night she had another surprise. Having been sent to bed whilst her parents were downstairs, she talked to her lamp. And to her joy, she found that the light bulb in her bedroom lamp could talk as well. He was a cheeky light bulb who told long, silly stories and talked to her all night. "Shush," she'd say, "someone might hear you." "No one can hear me," said the light bulb. He was able to tell Molly all sorts of grown-up stuff, like bras and tampons, and he told all sorts of rude and naughty jokes, and he knew everything. But sometimes Molly lost her patience with him, because when she was trying to do serious stuff, homework assignments and things, he wouldn't give answers that helped. She was doing physics homework about the nature of light. She was stuck and asked his help. He said, "Those teachers are telling you rubbish. Light doesn't behave like that at all. Do you know, Molly, what happens to the light inside us when we light bulbs go out? The light travels up to the sun and the stars in the sky, and that's where the spirit of all light bulbs live. In the sun and stars we float from here to eternity, forever." "That's silly," said Molly. "'Tisn't silly," said the light bulb. "Yes, it is. You're just making it up." And she switched the lamp off. "How dare you?" said the light bulb, and the lamp base switched him back on again. "Go away, you're stupid," said Molly, switching him off again. "No, I want an apology." On again. "I shan't." Off again. "You're being a spoilt madam," said the light bulb, switching on again. "You're worse than Mum," Molly screamed, and she knocked the lamp over. The bulb went bink and was dark. "Mr. Light Bulb," said Molly. "Mr. Light Bulb, I didn't mean it. I'm sorry." She picked the lamp up, switching on, off, on, off, on. "Mr. Light Bulb." But he'd gone. "It's okay," said the walls of the house around her. "It wasn't your fault." "Can't we repair him?" said Molly. "No. Once a bulb's gone, it's gone for good. It's okay, Molly. He's gone to live in the sun." Molly's parents didn't understand their daughter sometimes. They were just going to bed when they heard her crying in her room. She was quite hysterical, and the only explanation they could get out of her was that she was upset because the light bulb in her lamp had gone, but she wouldn't let them change it. Having got her to settle, they went to bed. At 4 o'clock, Dad could hear the back door being opened. Fearing burglars, he made his way downstairs with a cricket bat, only to find it was Molly, going into the garden. She was carrying a small trowel with which she dug a hole under a bush at the bottom of the garden. Then, after saying a few words that he couldn't hear, she placed something in the hole and covered it with soil. Dad waited for her to come back to bed before going outside himself to look at the object. In the moonlight, he found the old light bulb from her lamp, wrapped in an old sock. He decided not to mention this to her mum, but even she couldn't help noticing how Molly had started talking to the sky. "She'll grow out of it," they said to themselves. But she never did, for she followed the light. The light was her guide. Bink noises take 1. Is that what we're calling it?
I think so.
Okay, wild takes of Bink. Bink, 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 performed by Robert Crighton. No. Oh. What was it? Written by? Okay.